All right, future real estate superstars, welcome. If you are gearing up for the big exam, you have landed in the perfect spot. We are about to turn that test anxiety into total, complete confidence. I'm here to make sure you pass, so let's get you ready to go. And let's be real, I get it. When you first hear terms like easement apartment, a street, and tenancy in common, it can feel, well, a little overwhelming. It's like you're learning a whole new language filled with legal jargon. But trust me on this, it is not as intimidating as it sounds. So, here's my promise to you right now. We are going to walk through 25 absolutely essential questions, breaking them down one by one. By the end of this, you won't just be memorizing answers, you'll actually understand the why behind them. Okay, let's jump right in. To make this all super easy to digest, we've organized everything into 5 sections. We're going to kick things off with your property rights, then we'll cover how to describe land legally. After that, we'll dive into who the owner is, how to protect that ownership, and we'll wrap it all up with how we figure out a property's value. Let's do this.
First up, Section 1, your rights over the property. This is the foundation, the bedrock of everything in real estate. It's all about what you can and sometimes what you can't do with a property.
So let's start with question 1. Picture this. Alex has a property with a special right attached to it called an easement appurtenant. Now he decides to sell the place. What happens to that right? Does it just vanish? Does he pack it up and take it with him? What's your gut feeling on this?
And the answer is, it transfers automatically to the new owner. This is all because of a phrase you absolutely have to burn into your memory. An easement appurtenant runs with the land. It's attached to the property itself, not the person. So when the property sells, the easement goes right along with it. New owner, same easement.
Okay, let's clear up 2 terms that sound kind of similar but are totally different. First, encroachment. Think of this as a physical foul, like a penalty in sports. It's when your neighbor's fence or garage is built a few feet over your property line. It's a private issue between you two. Now, a sheet, that's when the government gets involved. If a property owner dies with no will and absolutely no heirs, the state takes ownership. So one's a neighbor problem, the other's a state action. All right, on to Section 2, describing the land. This might sound a bit dry, but I promise you it's absolutely crucial. To sell a property legally, you have to be able to describe exactly what's being sold. There's no room for error here. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at the 2 main methods you'll see on the exam. First is meets and bounds. This is the old school way. It's like a treasure map. It starts at a specific point, then gives you directions and distances to trace the entire perimeter of the property, all the way back to where you started. Then you have the more modern lot and block system. This one's way easier. It's used for subdivisions, and it's basically like saying it's lot number 5 on block B as shown on this official map. Okay, Section 3, who is the owner? This goes way deeper than just seeing a name on a piece of paper. The way someone owns a property has massive legal consequences for everyone involved. Here is a classic exam puzzle for you. 4 investors own a property together as joint tenants. Then one of them passes away, and another one sells their share to a complete stranger. What does that ownership look like now? Does it stay the same? So here's the deal. The ownership structure gets a bit of a shakeup. It becomes a tenancy in common for the new person. You see, joint tenancy has a special feature called the right of survivorship. When one owner dies, their share automatically goes to the other owners. But when someone sells their share, that bond is broken. The new buyer comes in as a tenant in common, while the original 2 owners who are left remain joint tenants with each other. It creates a little hybrid situation. Let's talk about defense. Section 4 is all about protecting your title. I mean, owning property is amazing, but it's not worth much if you can't prove it's yours and defend that claim. This is all about your legal shield.
This brings us to a question you will almost certainly see. When you buy a property, you get a deed, but they're not all the same. So which one is the absolute king, the one that offers the strongest protection for a buyer?
The answer is the general warranty deed. This is the gold standard, no question. With this deed, the seller is basically making a promise that the title is squeaky clean, not just during the time they owned it, but all the way back through the property's entire history. It is the most comprehensive protection money can buy. Now, let's quickly hit 2 more key protection concepts. First, redemption. Think of this as the ultimate emergency brake. It's your right to stop a foreclosure dead in its tracks by paying off the entire debt before the property is sold. Then you have subrogation. This is the title insurance company's superpower. After they pay your claim for a title problem, they get to step in your shoes and go after the person who caused the mess to get their money back. And here we are, our final section, the value of a property. This is where it all comes together. The land, the rights, the ownership, it all translates into a dollar figure. But how do we actually figure out that number? Well, question 18 gives us a huge clue. Just remember the acronym DUST. For a property to have any real value, it needs all four of these elements. Demand, do people want it? Utility, can you use it for something? Scarcity, is there a limited supply? And transferability, can you legally sell it? If you're missing even one of these, you don't have real value.
Okay, let's make this practical. An appraiser is looking at an apartment building, a property that's designed to generate rental income. How are they going to determine its value? What's the go-to method?
They're absolutely going to use the income approach. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? If the whole point of the property is to make money, then its value is directly tied to how much money it can make. And this flows right into question 24, because the magic number here is the net operating income, or NOI. That's the profit the property makes before you pay the mortgage. And for our last question, number 25, let's look at a handy tool called the Gross Rent Multiplier, or GRM. Don't let the fancy name fool you. The math is super simple. You just take the sales price, in this case $300,000, and you divide it by the gross monthly rent, which is $2,500. And that gives you a GRM of 120. It's a quick and easy way to compare rental properties.
So as we wrap this up, let's have that aha moment. When you step back and look at all these different questions and terms, you start to see a pattern. It all really boils down to just three big things. What are your rights? What are the rules? And how do we determine value? So, please, burn these four key ideas into your brain. Rights can be attached to the land itself. Legal descriptions have to be perfect, no excuses. A general warranty deed is a buyer's best friend. And finally, value is a complex recipe that needs all the ingredients of DUST. You just powered through 25 fundamental real estate principles. That's fantastic. You are so much closer to acing that exam. Now, just take a second to reflect. Which one of these concepts, maybe easements or the difference between tenancies or maybe the DUST acronym, which one finally just clicked for you? Hold on to that feeling. You've got this.